welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Reading with a Vengeance. Today I am doing the Booktuber Newbie Tag. This is my third video, so I thought it was appropriate to do the newbie tag and let you guys get to know me a little bit, I think. So let's get started. The first question on the newbie tag is, why start a BookTube channel? I love to talk about books. I think that's the main reason why people start any YouTube channel. They love their craft or their hobby. Or I've been an avid reader my whole life, and one thing that I love just as much as reading books, and that is talking about books. And hopefully I can provide videos where people are listening to someone talk about the books that they love as well. The next question on the Booktuber tag is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Fun and unique things. I think unique is that I am a little outside the typical age range of a booktuber. I'm a little bit older, so maybe I have some different reading tastes that a lot of people find on here. It's always good to offer something, a variety of tastes on BookTube. So hopefully I can offer some of that as someone who is of a different generation, different age group, and fun things. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'll think about it. Fun things. Fun other than talking about books? What could be more fun than that? Number 3 is, what are you most excited for with this new channel? So what I'm most excited about is to have something that I look forward to doing every day. Being a little bit older, I have had a couple of careers. I am happily married. I have basically everything I need. I'm very happy with my hobbies, and I want something to give me a little purpose to offer something that other people can enjoy. So that's what I'm excited about. Number 4 is, why do you love reading? Oh my gosh. So I learned and developed a love for reading at a very early age. I actually talked to my mom about this because I have no recollection of actually learning to read. But I found as kind of a loner child that books were my friends. And that's where my love for reading developed, and the fact that there's different worlds to read about, to immerse yourself in. You can go places. God, this is a shitty answer. I guess I love reading for the same reason that a lot of people love reading. It gives me an escape. Not that there's something that I feel like I need to escape from, but I really enjoy immersing myself in someone else's life, someone else's adventure, and I love learning about other people in different cultures and lives and lifestyles in different countries. It's just fascinating to me. Number 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? And honestly, the first series that I remember early on that got me into reading was the Nancy Drew series. I'm an only child raised by a single parent, and we didn't have a lot. My mom worked her butt off to take care of me. And we used to go to a store called Gemco, which is much like Target is now. And anytime when we would go to Gemco for whatever reason, once a month she would treat me to one Nancy Drew book. And so I would read those all the time. I remember reading them as I walked home from school, and yeah, I followed Nancy Drew, and that just went on to bigger and better things. Number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Oh my gosh. Will you be my friend? I think I'm probably going to do another video of the booktubers who are my favorite. But the questions that I would ask them is, what do you wish you knew when you first started booktubing? What do you wish you knew then, what you know now? I'd probably ask that question. I would ask what is their favorite thing about being a booktuber and what their least favorite thing about being a booktuber is. And how they get their ideas for what videos to post. Those are the questions I'd ask. Number 7 is, what challenges of starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I believe the challenges, I think for me, is to be watchable, really. I mean, to offer something that keeps people interested. Hopefully my personality will come through, that people can relate to and want to listen to, and to be myself here in front of the camera as I'm sitting here talking to myself. Another challenge I think would be to come up with creative ideas, creative content. I think that's a challenge for any booktuber or any YouTuber, really, is to come up with creative content that people are interested in. And not just creative content that people are interested in, but relevant content. So that'll be a challenge for me. And then another challenge for me is the editing process. It's a time-consuming process. Yeah, the editing process is very, very challenging. So hopefully I can stay on top of that. Number 8 is, when did you start reading? This is also something I had to ask my mom about because it's been so long and I just don't have a specific memory of when I actually started reading. My mom said I learned to read in kindergarten, but that I developed my love of reading probably in 4th or 5th grade. And that's when she started getting me the Nancy Drew books. So yeah, according to Mom, I started reading when I was in kindergarten. Number 9 is, where do you read? I read everywhere. And I read physical books basically on the couch, in bed. My husband and I basically have a tradition that when it's bedtime, we go to bed and we read for about 15 to 20 minutes, both of us reading a book for about 15 to 20 minutes before lights out. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, before I even get started, I'll read in bed. I have an audiobook in the car at all times. I listen to an audiobook when I am working out, whether it be walking on the treadmill or on my elliptical bike. I will read while I am waiting in a waiting room. I read everywhere. I like going to a coffee shop and sitting with my coffee and sitting at a table and reading my book. I've read my book at a bar. Yeah, I can read and will read and do read everywhere, every chance I get. Number 10 is, what kind of books do you like to read? So up until last year, typically was literary fiction and thriller mystery books. Those were the typical books that I read. But over the past few years, I've been expanding the genres that I get into. A few years back, I read The Martian, which was, I think, my first sci-fi that I'd ever read. And I loved it. And then so last year, though, when I discovered Bookstagram and I discovered BookTube and I started listening to other people talk about books, and you know, they get the hype in there, and they, you know, when people talk about a book that they love and they're so excited, you can't help but want to get into it, even though it's a book that perhaps otherwise you would never pick up. So last year, that's when I got into graphic novels and more into sci-fi. Got into urban fantasy, middle grade, young adult. I've tried a couple of romance. That's really not my cup of tea, but there have been a couple that I picked up that I enjoyed, like Beth O'Leary's The Flat Chair. I really enjoyed that one. The short answer is I like to read everything, but that's a lie. There's been a couple of fantasies that I didn't really care for, I didn't quite get into, but I haven't given up on it yet. Because there's still some fantasy books that are on my TBR that sound fascinating to me, that I'm hoping it will get better. Like I read The Library of the Dead, and I read Ninth House, which is right here, which is a BookTube favorite, and the world building, I don't know, it just hasn't worked for me yet, but I haven't given up on it yet. I prefer sci-fi. You know, I loved Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. That was fantastic. But mystery thrillers, that's where it's at. That's my bread and butter. That's what I love the most. Crime thrillers, domestic thrillers. Karen Slaughter is a queen. I love her. I love Leanne Moriarty. I love her stuff. I love Gillian Flynn. I love Stephen King. I'm trying to have a well-rounded repertoire, if you will, of genres. But, you know, can't like everything, I guess. But I'm trying. And finally, the last question is, what does your book collection look like? Well, I'll show you. We'll take a video and I'll insert here. But basically, we have books all over our house. We have books here on the, as you can see, I'll take a better video of the bookshelf behind me. We have books here. There's another bookshelf here in the living room. I have a book trolley. I have a book trolley in my craft room that is chock-a-block full of books. And then I have some books next to on each of our nightstands, my husband's nightstand and my nightstand. And then I have a couple of books in our guest bedroom on the nightstand. Then I have books that are in my on my Nook, on my iPad. And so basically I have kind of books all around me, and I love it. Thank you for watching my Booktuber Newbie Tag video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye now.